Hi, and welcome back to Football Made Simple. The first quarter-final of Euro 2020 took centre stage when Spain took on Switzerland. The Swiss came into this game off the back of an incredible comeback against France, while Spain have consistently been the better team, but with a lack of finishing. And these themes continued, with Switzerland coming from behind to draw 1-1 after extra time, thanks to Shaqiri and a Zakaria own goal, before Spain won on penalties. The XG after extra time again shows Spain's lack of finishing. But what tactics did both managers use? Let's take a look. Here's a reminder of the 11s both managers selected for this quarter-final clash, as you can see on the OneFootball app. OneFootball is sponsoring today's video, and they are the best football app around, as you can get pre-match formations like this, in-game stats, notifications, and so much more. And the best part is you can get it completely free through the link in the description below. But that's not all they give you. They have introduced a special Euro 2020 section, so you can easily keep up with breaking news about your favorite teams, players, and so much more. So, hit the link down below if you want to download OneFootball for free. We'll begin with Spain in possession. Switzerland generally defended in a mid-block 4-2-3-1, and whilst they could press at times, they were generally happy to hold their shape. And for the most part, in the first half, Spain used an extremely high and wide front three, with Ferran Torres and Sarabia hugging the touchline, meaning that both Azpilicueta and Jordi Alba in particular operated much deeper than usual to begin with. And here we see a massive advantage of Switzerland using a back four instead of the 5 they used against France. If they had used a back 5, they would have had a choice to make. The wingbacks could have remained deep to track these men out wide, allowing the back 3 to be much more compact. But this would now mean that Spain's deep fullbacks would have all the time in the world. And if the wingbacks had pressed instead, the centre-backs would have been left in 1 versus 1s with plenty of space to hit in behind. Perhaps Enrique had been anticipating the back 5, which is why he set up like this. But in the 4-2-3-1, a fullback could easily track the wide man, and the wide midfielder would be able to pressure Spain's fullback when necessary. But Spain used their midfield in interesting ways, as they were essentially set up to go man-to-man. And Shaqiri would often tie up Busquets, using his cover shadow to cut him out, and Busquets wouldn't generally drop into the backline to get a touch, as Spain were happy to let the deep fullbacks do the progression, particularly Alba. And Koke could at times look to drop in to be the second pivot, with Freuler unsure on whether he should follow, as it would leave space in this region, and Spain could use quick passing to take advantage of it. But generally, Spain's attacking shape pushed the free 8s into the half spaces, tying up Switzerland's pivots. And they often look to take advantage of this space created, as for example, when the super wide wingers got on the ball, they could draw the Swiss fullbacks deeper, and a free 8 from this position could easily make the run into the wide space. But Spain often couldn't take advantage of this. Morata was also excellent at creating space, as with Koke and Pedri wider, he had space to drop into, and Akanji would often look to remain touch tight to him, creating space in the backline. But again, neither the winger nor the free 8 were quick enough to make runs to exploit the space created. But special mention must be made of Pedri, who was once again excellent. He never remained stationary here and could get away from Zakaria despite being man-marked. One of the reasons was he never remained in Zakaria's field of vision, often ducking in behind him and then springing out to receive the ball from where he could turn and create, making a game-high 5 key passes. And Pedri found even more space in the second half, because with Switzerland chasing the game, Shaqiri began to press a centre-back in a 4-4-2. This meant that now Busquets could get on the ball more easily, drawing a presser from deeper in midfield, from where Pedri would then be able to get space to create between the lines. But in extra time, and after the game went even, Spain changed their attacking shape. Alba was now much more willing to overlap on the outside, with the winger, now Olmo, pushing into the box alongside Moreno and Ferran, giving Alba plenty of crossing targets, who he was often able to find. But let's look at Switzerland in possession briefly. When Switzerland were on the ball, Spain looked to press extremely high up the pitch, with the back four using the halfway line as the offside line. This pressure meant that the Swiss were consistently forced long, with Sommer attempting 41 long balls compared to just 4 from Unai Simon. And in open play, the fullbacks would push high and wide early on, allowing the wingers narrow, and they, in conjunction with Shaqiri, would be in a great position to win the second ball. But it should be noted that often, Spain's wingers were looking to press narrow high up the pitch, leaving the Swiss fullbacks in acres of space. In the first half, Switzerland couldn't take advantage of this, but in the second half, they switched the ball more often to get the fullbacks into great positions higher up the pitch. Overall, Spain were the dominant side, as they have been all tournament, but they better find their finishing boots before it comes back to haunt them. Switzerland can be happy with their run all the way into the quarterfinals, but what did you make of the match, and how far will Spain go? Drop it down below. And if you want even more content, whilst helping to support the channel, consider checking out my Patreon at patreon.com/footballmadesimple. You'll get early access to videos, exclusive videos, as well as access to the upcoming FMS video podcast. But that's all for today, and remember, keep it simple.